Hello, my name is Ashley Scher. I'm the founder and CEO of ShareLove.Fund. Today we're going to explore Chapter 3, verse 13 of the Gita. Chapter 3, verse 13 reads as follows. Righteous people who eat what is left after yajna are freed from past sins. But those who prepare food only for themselves are creating more sin. We can think about this in a modern example, that when your motive is completely selfless, that you reap the benefits of selfless service, salvation to others. But when your act might appear on the face as selfless, but it was motivated by selfishness, you don't reap the same benefits. So let's give an example. So for example, if somebody is an important person who holds a job that you want to get hired at, like they work at a company and you want to get hired at that company and they have hiring authority. If that person is going on a trip or something like this and asks, hey, I know you've been to this place, can you give me some advice? If you are just giving advice because you want that person to return the favor and give you a job, then giving that advice isn't really going to feel great. It's not really going to feel like salvation. It's going to maybe feel a little nerve-wracking, like, wow, I spent a lot of time preparing that email itinerary. I haven't heard back yet. I'm going to be pretty annoyed if that person doesn't give me a job. But if you prepare that same itinerary because you just genuinely love to travel and you genuinely loved to share information with others so that they can fulfill their passions and making someone's day just feels really great to you, if you prepare that same itinerary for a purely selfless purpose, it's going to feel really good. So the idea behind this sloka 3.13, I'm going to read it again. Righteous people who eat what is left after yajna are freed from past sin. But those who prepare food only for themselves are creating more sin. There's many different levels to explore this, but one level that we can look at this as preparing food or preparing someone's travel itinerary. Those look like nice things, but how you are going to feel after it, like the liberation that you may or may not experience, is really not going to be based on the act of cooking a meal, as in the case of this sloka, or preparing a travel itinerary, as in my example. What's going to change how you feel about it, whether you experience liberation or not, is the thought that went into it. When you do an act with the intention and mindset of wanting to bestow a gift upon someone, it can feel really good. Even that same very act with attachment as the intent, when it's a contrived act to get something in return, it's just not going to yield that same type of liberation. So what we're trying to say here is the act alone isn't enough to be quote unquote good or bad. It matters why you're doing the act. We can think of this in the opposite sense, where sometimes we actually do bad acts, like you might step on someone's glasses and break them, but it was an accident. So like the impact of your act is more evaluated by the intention behind it. There's a quote that says, even a dog knows the difference between being tripped on and being kicked. And I have tripped on my dog before, and it's interesting, like the dog kind of doesn't react as much, but I think I've never kicked the dog, and hopefully nobody else has, to my knowledge, but I think if someone did act aggressively to our dogs, I think our dogs would fight back. but when I've tripped on our dog just kind of got itself out of the way. So it matters the intent behind an act. And this is what this is all about. I hope this may serve you today, and just really be mindful and be aware of your acts, and you can kind of experiment with this and think about not just what you're doing, but what your purpose is in doing it, and see how that may change or not change how you feel, and play around with it. May the light in me be the light in you. Have a blessed day. Namaste.